我跟你讲, nobody could have ever imagined just how 极端 American 左派 has gone. Over the past few years, they've done so many ridiculous and terrible things, they may as well be classified as a legit religion. And recently, they did something that took all the eyes off of the Gaza and the border fiasco and put them right on the man who's at the head of Twitter, SpaceX, and now Doge. Elon Musk just edited USAID, and it don't look good.
You're in trouble now.
And now, this incident has sent everyone who's politically 左右中派 into a fully cooked American pie. So maybe instead of爆米花, for this episode, you should get yourself a nice warm slice. Because the corruption on the other side is overflowing into a very large 血流成河. 带去左脚. Breaking news, a real-life Iron Man has just raided USAID.
USAID is a 10,000-person, $40 billion agency that carries out foreign aid programs around the world. From displacement sites in Africa to humanitarian camps in Syria to towns fighting Russian influence across Eastern Europe. President John F. Kennedy created the agency when he signed an executive order in 1961.
Well, clearly they have an agenda, and they've been working very hard to achieve it ever since Kennedy put it into action. In fact, once upon a time, Taiwan even received US aid. Needless to say, when it comes to this department, they've got people everywhere all over the globe. But when the Orange Man took the White House back and started signing a slew of executive orders, he signed one that seemed to be really unimportant at the time. I mean, most people probably just thought it would affect Ukraine and a couple other countries no one really cares about. But little did we know that with a stroke of the pen made by his tiny orange hand, that it would give birth to one of the biggest scandals in all of American political history.
We're coming in. We're coming in. Don't lock the door. We're coming in. Who are you?
You're not coming in.
Who are you?
Who are you, sir? Do you have business here?
Yes.
At the beginning of February, in the middle of Chinese New Year, this suddenly went down, where Elon Musk and a team of 6 people walked into USAID's offices, took a very scrutinizing look with a microscope, going through their internal email systems and the remote login servers, and decided to shut that shit down. And the reaction from the Democrats, 他们好像很不爽哎.
God damn it! Shut down the Senate. We are at war.
We are gonna be in your face. We are gonna be on your.
We will see you in the courts, in Congress, in the streets. Elon Musk is a Nazi nutball baby.
As you probably saw, Elon Musk and his crew put a gag order on AID employees. They disconnected them from email, which is putting lives at risk around the world. So we are here to enter the building. We will prevail. Let's go.
Whack. And of course, the political left immediately went to attacking Elon on every social media platform they could think of, and also the legacy media. In fact, why don't you pause this video right now, head on over to Google, and type in USAID news and see what you find. Oh wait.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met, or seen, or witnessed. Which, you know, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart. And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of.
And then there's the AOC, aka always overcompensating, aka the 超级端 woke feminist avatar, who decided it somehow made sense to mock the richest man in the world who also happens to send rockets to space and catch them with chopsticks. Because according to her, he's dumb as a box of rocks. And then she goes on to engage in age shaming by mocking 19-year-olds for somehow being inexperienced and somehow dumb.
There are these burnt up scrolls that were buried in the Pompeii eruption. No one knows how to read them, but some professors have created CT scans of these scrolls, and they uploaded the data on the internet as a competition to see who could find writing inside of these scrolls. But then I've just got like 5 surplus computers in here. This is what I do most of my work from. Yeah, so this is the word that I actually found. It's right here. It's the word proforas, which translates to purple. It's the first word we found in the scrolls. It was reviewed by a committee of kind of Greek scholars. As a college student, it's definitely been overwhelming in the best way possible, but it's been really cool to get to kind of, talk about my findings and, share what I want to do in the future.
Fun fact, one of the oldest members on Elon's team is 25 years old, and the youngest is 19.
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls.
And I think it's safe to say without a doubt that every single member is gifted as fuck. I mean, one of these little niggas actually decoded ancient texts from ancient scrolls, yo. But according to the AOC, because their balls are barely dropped, they somehow don't know shit.
Big balls.
Well, here's another fun fact. Einstein was only 26 years old when he wrote the theory of relativity.
That's crazy, man.
And after the audit, Elon and his crack team moved into the USAID offices with sleeping bags and all. Catering brought to you by Elon Musk. These fools literally lived inside these offices, and within 2 days, they uncovered some of the most wild, ridiculous, scandalous shit America has ever seen. Should I say it? I think I should say it. 大鸡多屌.
And here's the reason why Elon Musk and others have been taking a look. Because if you look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do.
And on the third day, Team Elon rested, as they had uncovered just enough to make America completely pissed. And by the 6th of February, Congress was scrambling to meet, and upon several failed attempts to get Elon subpoenaed into appearing before Congress to answer for his supposed crimes, our good old friend Nancy Mace had a couple of questions of her own, and you could tell right off the bat she was pissed. And when you hear what she had to say, you will be too.
USAID awarded $2 million to strengthen trans-led organizations to deliver gender-affirming health care in Guatemala. So to each of you this morning, does this advance the interests of American citizens paying for trannies in Guatemala to the tune of $2 million? Yes or no? Governor?
I have no position.
Of course you don't.
Jesus, woman. All right, let's be clear. I know some of you guys maybe not agree with the LGBTQ community, but that doesn't mean you need to use offensive terms like that word. But as you can see, homegirl is really pissed. Because why in the hell should American taxpayers be funding transgender agendas abroad?
Okay, USAID awarded over $750,000 to fund alleviating loneliness among migrant garment workers in India. Does this advance America's interests, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
USAID awarded $1.5 million for providing a gender-sensitive response to migration at the Venezuelan border. Does this advance America's interests, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
Does this advance the interest? Okay, so USAID awarded $4.3 million on October 1st, 2023 to a group to fund comprehensive health services for men having sex with other men in South Africa. Does this advance the interests of American citizens, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
I bet you don't. Okay. USAID awarded $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities by promoting economic empowerment and opportunity for LGBTQI plus people in Serbia. Does this advance America's interests?
No.
No. Nope.
You have no idea, right? Okay.
So imagine if this happened in Taiwan, where your very hard-earned money, instead of being funneled back into the local economy, gets invested into DEI LGBTQ economic agendas in Serbia. Or better yet, causing charities linked to Hamas, which pretty soon America's gonna own anyway. 你应该会很气，对吧?
The gentlelady has used a phrase that is considered a slur in the LGBTQ community and the transgender community. And
Tranny. I don't really care. You want penises in women's bathrooms, and I'm not going to have it.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Let Chairman.
Disgusting.
All right, so I know homegirl is pissed. I'm pissed too, but that doesn't justify using offensive words towards people, because this really just plays into the narrative that all MAGA Republicans are racists and bigots and homophobes and transphobes. So, to all you guys in the comments, although DEI is complete shit, please do not behave like complete pieces of shit.
I keep waiting and waiting and waiting for Democrats to start redeeming themselves. And every single time I turn around, they make it worse. Just 100%, no turnabout rate, nothing. It is just going downhill for the Democrats, dude. If someone robbed a bank, someone watched the security footage, saw who robbed the bank, told you who robbed the bank, you caught who robbed the bank, are you gonna be mad at the person that robbed the bank or the person that told you you were being robbed? Okay, that's what's going on with Elon Musk right now. For those of you that don't understand, okay, Elon Musk was hired for the Department of Government Efficiency. What does the Department of Government Efficiency do? What is its main #1 goal? To make sure that our government is running efficiently, dumbasses. And here you are, literally trying to shoot the messenger because he is showing you that a lot of our money is being wasted on shit that is not needed. What type of transgender opera do you need overseas? What type of all of these DEI inclusivity programs do you need to be spending our money on overseas? And instead of being mad at the people that are stealing our money and spending it 100% irresponsibly, you're mad at the man who told you you were being ripped off. You are a fucking cult member. Plain and simple. There is no saving for you.
And as you can see, it ain't just the right that's upset. The anger is bipartisan as fuck.
What kind of disguises do they use to fund these projects? I mean, do they just change the names of these things? Is there really some other reason we're doing this?
Yeah, they're very effective at rebranding things. So in the first Trump administration, the priorities were support national interests as they are now. Another thing was countering terrorism and promoting self-reliance. So I went to a country, just to give one example, they had a feminist women's book club that had been started under the Obama administration. And then they now said this is a counter-terror program because women, feminist women are key fighters in the battle against terrorism.
Oh, yes, yes.
And then just this morning, a former USAID employee came forward as a whistleblower. And apparently he's got receipts.
What happened when you raised concerns that this thing was just a big corrupt money pit?
Yeah, so I reported one of my subordinates for criminal conflict of interest. And I mean, the first discouraging sign was I was told, well, you know, that's nice you want to do that. Most people here don't want to report corruption. Now, they didn't tell me why. I later figured out it's because you get in a lot of trouble. So I was accused of publishing classified information in something I'd written 2 years earlier, which had never been subjected to any prior question. And so they ultimately used that to fire me. Now, the people who were engaged in the corruption managed to hold on to their jobs. And so there's a culture of corruption that says, if you are going to criticize anything corrupt, we're going to come after you. And we're going to use the tools that are supposed to be used to go after criminals to come after you. So they ended up firing me based on this bogus accusation. And I've been in court for the last 3 years trying to get them to turn over the facts.
Now here's the crazy part. This guy actually worked at USAID 7 years ago whenever Trump took office. And him, along with Senator Rand Paul, sounded the alarm that USAID was full of corrupt bullshit. But nobody listened. It seems like everything they said then is totally true now.
The problem is systemic in the sense that all the American people get to understand about the billions, if not trillions of taxpayer dollars that we are hemorrhaging to these foreign countries or to these US-based NGOs is like the start date, the end date, and maybe 50-word summary, who it's going to. And the summary is typically something along the lines of countering disinformation. And the group that it's going to, sometimes it's an undisclosed foreign recipient or undisclosed domestic recipient, and there's nothing we can do to understand who that money's going to. But more precisely, and this was reporting that Raheem Kassam and I had sit over at the National Pulse years ago, we had looked up on Google Maps dozens of the addresses of the so-called, fact-checking grant recipients or the misinformation grant recipients. They're shacks on the side of the road. They're non-existent entities. It is clean and simple, pure and simple, money laundering.
So let's go into a Yokonan conspiracy theory right quick. The Democratic Party via USAID, somehow in some strange remote places, under the name of diversity, equity, and inclusion, applies for funding from said organization. But upon just a little bit of investigation, it turns out the recipients of those funds are registered at some random address, so they then take the receipts and then get reimbursed for these funds, successfully achieving what we like to call money laundering.
Actually super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Obviously, this was a mechanism used to funnel money to all sorts of things that we didn't vote on, that don't make sense in light of our constitutional structure. You know, I obviously have concerns like everybody else about where this train takes us, but seeing that structure broken up it's a huge relief.
I'm no expert in US law, but it seems like this kind of money laundering operation falls under the category of unconstitutional. But it ain't the only thing, and in the next chapter, you're gonna see that this scandal is about to get deeper than you have ever thought before. So prepare that blood pressure medication as we go even deeper and say it one last time.
Right now, there is widespread concern about the DOGE team's access to sensitive payment systems. Are you worried at all that that access and that tinkering of the payment systems could affect the Treasuries market or cause any disruption?
Thank you for asking me about that, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. First of all, when you say the DOGE team, these are Treasury employees. It is 2 Treasury employees, one of whom I personally interviewed in his final round. There is no tinkering with the system. They are on read-only. They are looking. They can make no changes. It is an operational program to suggest improvement. So we make 1.3 billion payments a year. And this is 2 employees who are working with a group of long-standing employees.
So now the Dems are trying to play every card they can imagine, claiming that Trump and Elon are violating the Constitution, they're circumventing Congress. Oh, once again, they must impeach him. And they've even gone so far as to post a temporary restraining order online. But bruh, look carefully at them words. The court order only talks about 2 employees. The same 2 that the Secretary of Treasury just mentioned only have read access, just like Elon and his team. Because remember, Elon is officially a special government employee, complete with security clearance to access the data that they found. So it begs the question, why are so many Dems being so aggressive and angry at trying to shut this shit down? Well,
Elon Musk, the head of DOGE, is making bold claims on his platform X. In a viral post with over 44 million views, Musk accused USAID of funding bioweapon research, including work on COVID-19, through taxpayer dollars. He alleges $53 million went to EcoHealth Alliance, which supported controversial coronavirus research at the Wuhan lab. The post also suggested USAID has ties to the CIA, calling its actions, quote, deceptive.
Now, Elon posted this image on X, showing the relationship between USAID and the Wuhan Viral Institute in China, which started back in 2013.
Fuck.
Now, by my amazing powers of deduction, I do believe one President Barack Hussein Obama was in office then.
President Biden just issues new pardons for Dr. Anthony Fauci. This as Trump prepares to take the oath of office in just a few hours.
So I think you can see where this is going. And I wouldn't be too surprised if in the next couple of days, Trump stands in front of the camera and officially announces that since the Obama era, the US government, along with USAID, has been balls deep in Wuhan viral gain-of-function research for over the past 10 years. And you gotta remember, Mr. Fauci and everyone else with him denied through their teeth that any of this was going down. And yet somehow Team Elon pulled out receipts in just a matter of days. So you can be for damn sure when the orange man stands in front of those cameras and makes it official, we'll be making another goddamn episode.
Like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart.
Well, now who's the idiot? Because anyone who's watched enough TV and movies knows that when you want to find out who's guilty, follow the money. So it seems like Elon and the 19-year-old Geek Squad are well on their way to uncovering more scandals buried deep beneath America's federal buildings. And you need to remember, USAID is just a tiny fraction of the federal government. A baby arm, if you will. I mean, imagine what will happen when they turn their microscope on the military department. Or worse, the health department. So safe to say, this is just one episode in a very long series of videos to come. So until then, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and we will see you on the flip side. Peace!